Hare Krishna. So let's get started with our auspicious invocation prayers. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So dear devotees, today we will do a quick overview of the second chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gītā. Last session we did a summarization and a quick study of the first chapter of Sri Bhagavad Gītā. There are total 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gītā, and it is the most important foundational scripture of the Sanatana Dharma, the Vedic Dharma. Nowadays it is called Hindus, and this is Sanatana Dharma. Actually, Sanatan means eternal. It has no origin in time. Just like God is eternal, just like the soul is eternal, the Sanatana Dharma, or the eternal religion of the soul, is always there. Just like heat is always inherent in fire. There was never a time, from today fire will be hot. It's not like that. Fire is always hot. From today, water will be liquid. There was never a date when water became liquid. No, water is always liquid. Similarly, we are spiritual souls. We are soul, Atma. And our inherent nature, our natural nature is called religion, Dharma. The understanding of religion that is prevalent today is not actually Sanatana Dharma. It's not actually the eternal true religion for everyone. We designate it as Hindu or Muslim or Jew or Christian, Sikh, Buddhist. These are different designations. But none of them are the true religion. True religion is neither Hindu, nor Christian, nor Muslim, nor Jew, nor any of these designations. Real religion is the inherent nature of the soul, which has no origin in time. Just like the soul is eternal, just like God is eternal, our true nature, which is the Sanatana Dharma, eternal religion, it is also eternal. It's always there. So the second chapter of Bhagavad Gītā is a summarization of all the contents of Bhagavad Gītā. So this is a very, very important chapter. If we understand this one chapter, In the next 45 minutes, I will try to present to all of you the summarization of the Bhagavad Gita. If this one chapter we understand, we have understood the whole Bhagavad Gita. The other chapters are further elaboration on what is already explained in the second chapter. Second chapter is the summary of the whole Bhagavad Gita. So let's try to listen very attentively. Shri Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we saw in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita how Arjun became overwhelmed with emotions, overwhelmed with compassion, fear, at the same time, at the prospect of having to fight, wage a war against his family and friends. And he decided, I will not fight. I cannot do this. This is too sinful. Just to win a kingdom, just for some property and wealth and power, why should I kill my cousins, my teachers, my parents, my grandparents, my friends? I will not do this. And even though he was the greatest warrior, he became completely dejected and confused. What am I supposed to do? We have come here to fight, but I just can't do it. He was in a crisis, emotional crisis. Let's see what happens after that. So chapter 2, in the first verse, Sanjay, who is the narrator of the Bhagavad Gita, to his master, to his king, Dhritarashtra, says that seeing Arjun full of compassion and his mind completely depressed, his eyes full of tears, Krishna began to speak to Arjun. So remember, in the first chapter, Krishna hardly spoke. Krishna hardly spoke, but now Krishna, for the first time, is going to start speaking. So second verse, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, speaks. My dear Arjun, how have these impure thoughts come in your mind? They don't befit you. They don't befit a person. These types of thoughts don't befit a person, don't suit a person who knows the truth. And this type of mentality that you're having, Arjun, this will not lead to higher destination in the next life, but it will lead to your downfall. So in the first verse, as soon as Krishna starts speaking, he speaks the blatant truth as it is to Arjun. Arjun, your thought process is flawed. It's wrong. It is not in line with the eternal religion. What you're saying does not make sense. It will lead to your downfall. Please do not think like this. In the third verse, Krishna continues by saying to Arjun that don't give in to this weakness of heart. You are saying you don't want to fight. This is simply because of weakness of your heart. Don't give in to these negative thoughts. It does not become you. Give up this weakness of heart and arise, stand up. Oh Arjun, stand up and fight with your enemies. Then Arjun, in the fourth verse, responds to Krishna by saying that, oh Krishna, how can I fight with great personalities like Bhishma Dev, who is my grandfather, who taught me how to walk, who fed me? My own father died when I was very young, and it was Bhishma Dev, my grandfather, who brought me up. How can I kill Bhishma Dev? How can I shoot arrows at him? And how can I fight with Dronacharya, who is my teacher? For so many years, he taught me how to hold the bow, how to place the arrow, how to shoot. He taught me everything I know. He made me the greatest archer, the greatest warrior in the world. Oh Krishna, Do you really want me to fight with Dronacharya, my teacher, my grandfather? These two personalities are worthy of my worship, and you want me to fight with them? It would be better that I give up all my wealth and property and become a beggar rather than kill these great souls, these great personalities. Even if I kill them and I win the war, everything that we get by winning the war, the money, the palaces, the property, the kingdom, it will all be tainted by the blood of these great men who are worshipable. I should worship them. I should respect them. I should serve them. So I don't know, Krishna, whether it is better for me to defeat them in this war and conquer them, or is it better to be defeated by them because they are my superiors? How can I care to live if I kill my own friends and family? Even though they are fighting, wanting to fight with me, they are standing here to fight with me. They want to fight with me. But Krishna, I can't do it. I cannot fight with them. I'm really confused what my duty is. I'm confused what I'm supposed to do. I'm in a dilemma. I have lost all my mental composure. And yes, I'm feeling that weakness in my heart. I'm not able to decide what to do. Krishna, in this condition, I'm asking you, please tell me, what is my real duty? What is it that is best for me to do? Krishna, now we are not friends anymore. You are my teacher and I am your student. Please accept me as your student. Accept me as your disciple. I'm surrendering to you, Krishna. Please instruct me and tell me what I'm supposed to do in this situation. I don't know what to do. I cannot find any other way to drive away my confusion, my grief. Please help me, Krishna. In text 9, Sanjay tells Dhritarashtra, having spoken thus, Arjun was the greatest warrior. He finally said, "O Krishna, O Govinda, O Madhusudan, I will not fight. I shall not fight." And he fell silent. Arjun fell silent, saying, I cannot do this. I cannot fight, Krishna. But please instruct me. Tell me what I'm supposed to do. At that time, in verse number 10, it is said, at that time, Krishna smiled. Arjun's eyes are filled with tears. He's trembling, he's shaking, he's confused, he's grief-stricken at the prospect of fighting with his friends and family, at the prospect that so many men, so many loved ones are going to be slaughtered on this battlefield. He's heartbroken. At that time, Krishna, who was supposed to give instructions to Arjun, smiled. Arjun is crying and his friend, best friend and his teacher Krishna is smiling. And they're right in the middle of both the armies, so everyone can see them. Krishna smiled and spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjun. That brings us to verse number 11. Again, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, spoke to Arjun. Krishna said, while speaking wise words, while analyzing the situation, Arjun, you are actually lamenting, you're actually crying, you're mourning for what is not worth mourning. You are grieving for that what is not worth grieving. You are crying over things that are not worthy of crying. Hare Krishna. Those who are wise, they do not grieve. They do not lament for the living nor for the dead. It's a very heavy statement that Krishna spoke right in the beginning, right at the outset. Two things Krishna is saying. Those who are wise, they don't cry for the living and they don't cry for the dead. And Arjun, you are crying for things that are not worthy of crying. Now, this is completely contrary to our understanding. But there is a very important lesson here. And Krishna will explain why Arjun should not cry, why Arjun should not lament or grieve. But in this verse number 11, there is a very, very important lesson for all of us, which I would like all of you to note down, write it down or keep it in your mind. Very, very important point. Krishna is saying, Arjun, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. You are crying for what is not worthy of crying. Krishna is teaching us this lesson. Everything in life has two aspects to it. Just like a coin has two sides, heads and tails. Every situation in life, everything in life, for all of us, has two aspects. Please note this down. Krishna is teaching us. One aspect is the actual value of that thing. And the second is the attributed value of that thing. The actual value and the attributed value. So everything has a certain inherent value, the actual value of it, what it's worth. And then everything has an attributed value to it, value that we ascribe to that thing, value that we put on that thing. For example, I remember when there was the COVID pandemic at its peak, there was a great shortage of new cars. New cars were not being manufactured because of scarcity of spare parts, raw material. So new cars were not coming in. So the value of the second-hand cars, the value of the used cars shot up like anything. Correct? So a used car may be worth $10,000. But during the pandemic, when new cars were not coming, there was a great demand, supply was short. So those used cars were something that is worth 10,000 was being sold for 15,000 or 16,000. So actual value is $10,000, but the attributed value is now $15,000. It's inflated value. So everything in life has got an actual value and attributed value. For example, we are driving and someone cuts in front of us. Suddenly there is road rage. Our ego gets involved. We start, honking. We try to pass the car. We try to get back at them because we felt insulted. We felt slighted by the way they drove. It's called road rage. It just suddenly comes. We don't know that person. We will never, ever, perhaps meet that person ever in our life. But right now, we are so angry at them. We feel like rear-ending them and punishing them. Suddenly this anger comes. Why? Because we have attributed excessive value to the fact that they drove aggressively towards us. They cut in front of us. They came in our lane. They irritated us. We attribute too much value to that situation. This is so important that I'm willing to risk my life. There are so many videos on YouTube about road rage. People do crazy things. People have drawn guns and fired at someone who was not driving properly. People have brake checked others. They have rear-ended others in anger. Recently, I was in India and an incident took place. One person was driving on a motorbike. One person was driving a rickshaw, which is like a small taxi. And they didn't even hit each other. The motorcyclist just drove too closely, cut in front of the rickshaw, and they got into an argument and they got into a fist fight. And the rickshawala, the taxi driver, he reached inside his three-wheel taxi, his rickshaw, and pulled out a knife and tried to stab this person who was on the motorcycle. And there were people who were trying to break their fight. And this motorcyclist, he found a big rock by the side of the road, like just a big rock. He picked up that rock and smashed it into the head of this taxi driver, who died on the spot. And the cops were called, the police came, and they arrested this motorcyclist. And it was all caught on video. If you want, I can show you that video. It's there. Now, analyze the situation. The motorcyclist is a family man. The rickshawala, the taxi driver, is a family man. They have wives at home. They have wives, they have kids, they have parents, brothers. They have a family. They're just doing their job. The motorcyclist was actually a milkman. He was selling milk. So he had those milk bottles attached to his bike. The rickshawala is just a, cab driver trying to earn his money. They're going about their daily business. Both of them want to do their work and go home and spend time with their family and relax. One man is dead, the other man is in jail. Hare Krishna. Why? Road rage. Because they attributed too much value. They invested their ego unnecessarily for something which was not worth it. This happens every day, in every situation. We may think, I want to enjoy this thing. And it may not be available. And then just to fulfill our desires, we may go to great extent. We may even cheat. For example, during COVID, so many things are coming to my mind. You remember when the COVID pandemic started and the vaccines came out? It was compulsory. It was mandated by many employers that their employees, in order to return to work, should get vaccinated. And then there were those COVID vaccine cards, those white cards issued by the CDC. And you have to have the vaccine lot number and the date you got the vaccine, first dose, second dose, booster, whatever. So that those COVID vaccine cards were required by most of the employers in the US for employees to return back to the office to work. Now, many people did not believe in the vaccines and they did not want to get the vaccine, but they wanted to work to earn their money. But to go to office, the employer says, get vaccinated. Otherwise, you cannot come because you pose a risk to everyone. If you bring in COVID, you get infected, it's a liability. So employer wants us to be vaccinated. The employee doesn't believe in the vaccine, thinks it will lead to so many health problems, doesn't want the vaccine. So what did they do? So they contacted the people who work in different offices, and the medical officers received those stacks of vaccine cards from the CDC. And they would pay $20. I'm telling a true story that I have personally experienced. They would pay $20 to the medical assistant, MA, who assists the physicians. MAs are the ones who room the patients, check their vital signs, get the little history, enter it into the chart, all those things. So the medical assistants have those cards, and the nurses give the vaccine, and the medical assistants fill out that card and give it to the patient as a record. And then they also submit it to the Georgia immunization records, the grits. So those cards are available. So these people would come, they would talk to the medical assistants, give them $20 and tell them, can you just give us some cards, blank CDC vaccination cards. And they would fill it falsely that I got Moderna on this day. I got Pfizer vaccine on this day. They would just fake some lot number, just scribble some little signature, and it's a card. They show it to their employer. They are not vaccinated, and they would. But this is a fraud. You cannot sell those blank CDC cards to random people for $20. It's a fraud. And then someone complained. So there were these medical assistants, they were all hand in glove with each other, and they were doing this fraud together, and they were supposed to split the money. And then they had a little fight amongst themselves about distribution of the money that they were earning a lot of money. Every day, 30, 40 people would come and get those cards. And medical assistants, they make, $15, $20 an hour. So for them, $20 per card, it's good money. It's an hour worth of work for them, more than that. So they had an argument over how they are going to distribute the black money that's coming through the fraud. And one of them felt that they were not distributing the wealth in a fair way. So she got upset and she went and complained to the center manager. that such a thing is happening. These guys are selling the cards and charging money, and it's just illegal. And everything was on. There are security cameras everywhere in the office, and everything was caught on camera. The legal team was brought in, and all those MAs got fired. Why? Because they attributed too much value on this extra money. That extra money is not worth it. Now you have committed a fraud. You can go to jail for that. Is it worth going to jail for that little extra money? Will any other medical practice ever hire you once you have it on your record? Because anywhere you go, they will ask you, where were you employed before? Get a letter of recommendation from the previous employer. That's how it works in the medical circle. So you cannot be employed. You spent thousands of dollars getting your MA training, and now it's all gone. You'll probably lose your ability to practice, your ability to be employed, and you could go to jail and face a penalty, pay fine. So you're actually losing money, you're losing your reputation, you're losing your job. Why? Because you attributed too much value to something that is not that important. They were thinking money is everything. Money will make me happy. I'll do anything to earn that money. No, it's not worth it. Similarly, Krishna is telling Arjun, Arjun, you are crying for something that is not worth crying. And Krishna will explain why. Arjun is crying because he doesn't want to kill his family and friends. Even though they were on the wrong side, even though they were aggressors, even though they tried to molest Arjun's wife publicly, they tried to molest her, strip her naked, even though they tried to poison their mother and the brothers of Arjun and Arjun, even though they tried to commit arson, they tried to burn their house when they were sleeping, even though all these crimes were committed by Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra, Arjun is feeling compassion on them and doesn't want to punish them, doesn't want to fight with them, doesn't want to kill them. So Krishna is saying, you are wrong. In verse number 12, Krishna says, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor all these people. Why are you crying? I am eternal, you are eternal, and everybody on this battlefield of Kurukshetra is eternal. We are souls. Just like the soul passes in this lifetime from the body of a newborn baby to the body of an infant, to the body of a toddler, to the body of an elementary school kid, middle school kid, high school kid, then college, university, marriage, become a parent, you become middle-aged, you become old. Just like the same soul is going through these different phases of the body, when the body dies, the soul continues its journey and takes another birth in another body. Even though the soul is eternal, the soul just keeps changing the bodies. The soul is eternal, the body is temporary. According to the law of karma, we get a body, we enjoy the results of good things we have done previously, we suffer for the bad things we have done previously, and in this life we perform more karma, and based on our karma, we get another life, another body. We have certain looks, certain height, certain weight. We take birth in a certain family, all based on our previous karma, previous activities. As you sow, so shall you reap. So when the soul changes the bodies, a person who is intelligent, a person who is spiritual, does not get confused, does not cry, because it's natural. Everyone around us, the soul is changing the body. The soul is eternal, but the bodies are changing. And therefore, don't cry over the soul changing bodies, because the soul has changed many bodies in the past, and in the future it will continue to do. That's just how this world is. It's like leasing a car. Some people, they like to drive new cars, so they don't want to buy a car. They just keep leasing cars for 2 years or 3 years, and every 3 years they get a new car. So they're always driving a brand new car with the latest driving assistant features and all the bells and whistles. I have quite a few friends who just don't believe in purchasing a car. They just keep leasing. So they're always driving a new car. Anyway, a car is a depreciating asset. It's not an appreciating asset. You lose money. So, you can argue both ways. But there are some people who just keep leasing cars always. So this body is also like we say new lease on life. Don't we say? Oh, the person, he got cured from the cancer. He got a new lease on life. This is like a leased car. This body is like a leased car. We get a 60-year lease. Some people get 70-year lease. Some people get 1-year lease, 10-year lease. Some may get 100-year lease. But this is a leased body. We don't possess it. We did not create it. God has given it to us for a certain period. The thing is, we don't know what is the term of the lease. It may end at any time. So why should we cry? When we lease a car and we lease a new car, do we cry? Oh, my car is gone. I used it for 3 years. No, we get a new car. We feel happy. Oh, I got a brand new car. Similarly, this body becomes old, becomes diseased. And if we have done good karma, we'll get a better body. We'll get a brand new body. We'll again, old people always, I work as a geriatric hospitalist. So I take care of hospitalized old patients, 65 plus. And they often tell me, Doc, how old are you? Oh, I'm 43. Oh, I wish I was 43. Oh, I wish I was in my 30s. Oh, I wish I was in my 20s. They tell me all the time. And that's what happens at death. You get a new body. You get to be young again. What is there to cry? But Arjun says, oh Krishna, but I'm attached to this body. I don't see Bhishma Dev as a soul. I see him as my grandfather. I don't see Dronacharya as a soul. I see him as my teacher. I'm attached to their body. I think the body is the person. Oh. Then Krishna says, verse number 14. Oh, if that is the case, my dear Arjun, then please understand that happiness and sorrow, they are like the changing of the seasons. There is summer season, there is winter season, there is spring season where new leaves come, and there is fall season, those leaves fall. Summer, there is heat, winter, it is cold. My dear Arjun, just like in this world, there are 4 seasons and they keep changing. Similarly, happiness, sorrow, honor, dishonor, success, failure, these are the different seasons. They keep coming and going, keep coming and going. You win some, you lose some. What to do? I work hard and we work, and once a year we'll get a bonus, and wow, it feels good to get a bonus. And sometimes we lose money. We are working on our basement right now, and we had a general contractor and paid him, and he's just not doing the work, and we wanted to change him because he was not doing it according to code, and he took the money and went away. He's not returning it. What are we going to do? So sometimes we win in life, sometimes we lose in life. So happiness, distress, success, sometimes we are successful, sometimes we fail despite our best efforts. Sometimes we have good health, and sometimes we are just diagnosed with colon cancer. What did we do? We didn't do anything. We just found it. Breast cancer. Recently, I had a patient, very healthy, a triathlon athlete, just was having some bruising, came to the hospital, we ran some tests, and acute leukemia. Very dangerous condition. Never smoked, never did anything wrong, very health conscious. What to do? Just like there is health, there is ill health. That's why we have all these hospitals. That's why we have all these specialists, pediatrician, and then there is cardiac pediatrician, pediatric neurologist, pediatric oncologist, pediatric hospice. I remember when I graduated from Emory, I had a job offer to become a pediatric hospice doctor, and they were paying almost little less than double of what my other job was paying. Almost double. To be a pediatric hospice doctor. You basically take care of kids who are dying. And I just didn't have, I did not think I would be able to take it. So I declined that offer. But there are so many specialists. Why? Is it good that we have so many specialists? Now we have cardiologists, then general cardiologists, then there are cardiologists who specialize in the different rhythms of the heart called electrophysiologists. There is interventional cardiologists. There is heart failure specialist cardiologists who specialize in the valves of the. Just in the field of cardiology, there are so many sub-specializations. Is that good? Think about it. Should we be happy that we have so many specialists? Actually, if you think of it, it's very sobering, because all it means is there are too many diseases. There are newer and newer diseases coming up. There are newer and newer cancers that are coming up because of all the pollution that we have. We can say that, oh, cancer is going up because we have better diagnosis now, better ways of diagnosing. We have more sophisticated diagnostic modalities. That's why we are picking up new cases of cancer. It's not true. You read any scripture, you will never read a description that someone got big lymph nodes, swellings in their neck, or someone's belly got, bowels got blocked by a tumor, or skin cancers. We never read in the history. These are diseases because of radiation, because of plastic, chemicals, burning fossil fuel. Nobody knew what fossil fuel was a few hundred years ago. They were living such a natural life. But now we have got coal, we are burning coal, we are getting oil from the land and burning it as fossil fuels, causing so many pollutions. The exhaust fumes of a car, the smoking coming from tobacco, it has got so many carcinogens, more than 20 carcinogens. And it's all over. You just walk on the street and there's pollution. All this radiation, Wi-Fi, cellular network, do you think really this radiation has absolutely zero impact on the body? Completely safe? Is it logical to think like that? No. So we are causing so many artificial things which are harmful, chemicals. Newer and newer cancers are coming up. And cancers are increasing. So in this world, there will be health, there will be ill health. In this world, there will be happiness, there will be sorrow. For everyone, the quantity, the proportion may be different. For example, if you go to Minnesota, the winter will be more prominent than summer. Summer will be short. It will be there, but it will be short. You go to Key West, the summers will be long, the winters will be short, or you'll hardly feel. Winter probably would be 60 degrees. That's winter. Well, in Minnesota, that's summer. So the point is, summer and winter is experienced everywhere, but the degrees are different. So happiness and distress is experienced by everyone. The degrees may vary. Some people may have more happiness in their life because of previous good karma. Some people will have a lot of unhappiness, pain, and sorrow in their life. But everyone goes through happiness and distress. If we analyze our life, we go through happy moments, we go through sad moments. We go through success, we go through failure. And Krishna is saying in verse number 14, this is inevitable. So the second point I want all of you to note down is the dualities of life: happiness, distress, success, failure, honor, dishonor. These are inevitable. We cannot avoid them. We all have to experience them to greater or lesser degrees. And that is based on our karma. So in the previous verse, Krishna said, every soul keeps changing the bodies. There's no need to cry. Arjun says, but I'm attached to the bodies. I think they are my grandfather, my father, my teacher, my brother. Then Krishna says, then just tolerate. Just like you tolerate summer, just like you tolerate winter. In winter, like now it's winter, we are wearing warm clothes. When we go out, we wear a jacket. We take a scarf. We'll put the heater. We'll, turn on the heater on the car seat. The steering is heated, just to keep ourselves comfortable and, just deal with the cold winter. In summer, we will wear light cotton clothes, we'll wear a short, we'll wear a light t-shirt, we'll turn on the air conditioner, we'll wear a hat to deal with the hot weather. So we tolerate winter and we tolerate summer. We deal with it. Similarly, we have to deal with happiness and we have to deal with sorrow. In happiness, we should not become overjoyed and we should not become insensitive to the feelings of others. And in sorrow, we should not become totally disheartened and we should not become totally depressed. We have to deal with both. Krishna says that in 14th verse. In verse number 15, Krishna says, a person who can tolerate happiness and distress like this is eligible for the kingdom of God. We have to be properly situated during the dualities of life, happiness and distress both. So we went a little slow. I was hoping to finish the 72 verses and we have only done 15 verses. So forgive me, I went slower than expected, but the time is up. So I will stop here and we'll try to complete the second chapter next time. So forgive me. But I hope we got some valuable points from Bhagavad Gita today. And I will open it up for questions. Hare Krishna. Anuradha Leela Mataji. And enough, your co-host. So if you want to unmute, you can unmute, or others, you can raise your hands if you have any questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ādi Gadādhara Prabhu, thank you very much for sobering messages from last week, I remember, and this week you reminding us that, as the happiness and unhappiness is also part of this life. I was catching myself with the thought that how much we all strive for happiness and we want to reach happiness, bring ourselves towards happiness, wish happiness to everyone, but it seems like it's a value, right? As you said, it's always there. It's a value of this material world for happiness and unhappiness to change and to follow each other no matter what we do. So the question follows from that is, we still learn and the instructions are there to, treat people a certain way, right? So, do things to basically through practice, through all the actions that we do in life, we do that to reach certain happiness. Even in Krishna consciousness, whatever we do, there is this goal to be happy, So that's, for me, this contradiction. We anyway trying to be happy and, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. This is the motto, right? So could you elaborate on that? Should we strive for happiness, or we just have to accept it and say, this is how it is, and, I should not be looking to, for basically well-being, this like, I want a new house, I want to live in better conditions, should we give up on all of that, or,
Hare
question.
So the question is, should we strive for happiness or should we just accept that this world is a place of misery? And so the answer is, to become happy, we have to accept that there will be some unhappiness in our life also. To become happy, we have to accept that there will be happiness and unhappiness. We have to be okay with both. Just like when we get a coin, we accept the heads and we accept the tails both. Both come, it's a package. So if we accept that in life there will be comfort and sometimes there will be discomfort, sometimes there will be success, sometimes there will be failure. If we accept this, then we can always be happy. For example, do we become sad when winter starts? No, because we have accepted winter will come. Do we become sad when summer comes? No, we accept it. Summer is going to come, we just have to deal with it. So, and we adjust. So similarly, we can be happy in this world if we accept that there will be unhappiness in our life also. We cannot be happy all the time. That being said, to answer your question, it is mentioned in Brahma Sutra, in the Vedanta Sutras, that Anandamayobhyasat. It is the nature of every soul to seek happiness. And yeah, it is our nature to be happy. It is not our nature to be sad. See, Krishna is Sat Chid Ananda. Krishna is eternal, fully cognizant, full of knowledge, and Krishna is Ananda. He's always blissful. And we are Krishna's parts and parcels. Mamai Amsha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So being Krishna's parts and parcels, we are also Satchidananda. We are also eternally blissful. Supposed to be blissful. But in this world, because we forget who we are, we become sad. It's like, imagine you are the daughter of a multimillionaire and you go for a vacation somewhere and you just forget. Somehow you get amnesia. You forget that you are the daughter of a millionaire. So you are a millionaire, being the daughter of a millionaire, but you have forgotten. But when you are brought to your parents and you remember, your memory comes back. I'm just giving an example. Memory comes back, then, oh, now you have access to millions of dollars. Well, you always had access, but you had lost that connection. So similarly, we are always blissful, but in this world, because we think I am the body, and the body is temporary, the body is subject to disease, we lose that connection with Krishna, which makes us happy. So to become always happy, the aim is to become always happy. And to become always happy means to always be with Krishna, who is the source of all happiness. He's Ram. He's called Ram. Ram means the source of all happiness. So aim of life is to become always happy. And the only way to do it is to be always connected with Krishna. Hare Krishna. That's why chant Hare Krishna and be happy.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Yeah, that's a really good answer. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. May I also ask a question, please?
Yes.
So now that we started speaking about happiness and about Krishna, also I've heard from another teacher how being humorous or having a sense of humor, or like it's also coming from Krishna. Like he likes to do all this, pranks and like this. And I would like to become, more person like that. How to start, like I guess see this humor in every situation, or like to be more less serious, and again like paying attention less to this imperfections, like even in certain in organizations, for example, like when I organize something, then I start to get attached to the result, like I would want it to be, follow the process, like in everything the way I planned. And of course, when it doesn't come this way, which happens very often, then, I feel inside that I get a little bit like disturbed about it. Yeah. So how to find, in all these different situations, this humor inside me, how to be more humorous person.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
There was I may have the name wrong, but there was one disciple of Srila Prabhupada. His name was, I think, Mahabudhi Prabhu. I may be wrong, but I think it was Mahabudhi Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple, and he was in the US military. He served in he was one of the, he was commander of his platoon or something. And then he retired from the military and joined Srila Prabhupada. So he had that spirit of Kshatriya, being in control, organizing, following everything. And under him was Srila Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. You have heard of His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj. So Mahabudhi Prabhu was the leader of book distribution. And Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Tirth Maharaj was working under him. He had many devotees working under him for some time. And he was a very difficult leader because, he had that military spirit. So he would discipline, he would chastise. So it was hard to work under him. But His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Maharaj managed. Then they both, went their different services, and many decades passed. by. And in 2005, His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Maharaj was diagnosed with melanoma, stage 4 melanoma. It had spread everywhere. And he went under hospice care and came to Gītā Nagari to leave this world from there. So all his old friends, god brothers, god sisters, they came to meet him at Gītā Nagari in near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And Mahabodhi Prabhu also came. Now they are meeting after many decades. And their previous interaction was Mahabodhi Prabhu was the commander and Bhakti Tirth Maharaj was a foot soldier. Of course, they are god brothers, but they had that relationship. And after many years, they are meeting. And Srila Bhakti Tirth Maharaj is lying on the bed. He's reduced to skin and bones. He has lost weight because of the stage 4 cancer. And Mahabodhi Prabhu comes. Mahabodhi Prabhu also is now a little old. He's also, in his 60s. And so they talk. And then Bhakti Tirth Maharaj remembers how you were such a leader. You were so strict with me. You gave me such a hard time. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj said, I have to confess, Prabhu, many times I felt like punching you in the face. But you were very strong and I was skinny, a little brahmachari. So I never did. But seeing you after such a long time, Mahabodhi Prabhu, I feel like punching you in your jaw. He said like that. And they both laughed and, and Mahabodhi Prabhu said, I will stay with you for a few days here in Gītā Nagari. So he stayed. And then one day, one disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, she made soul food. So I forgot the name of the dish that she made, but she made something that had a lot of pepper, hot pepper in it. And it's barbecued, it has got sour cream on it, and then you eat. So she made that for Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, and Maharaj ate some, and then his Mahaprasad plate was taken by the disciples. And Mahabodhi Prabhu just came to meet Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. And he said, what's that plate? So they said, it is Bhakti Tirth Maharaj's Maha. It's his remnants. So we are all going to eat. He said, even I want to take. So they said, yeah, okay. So then he took one piece and ate. And he had a cavity in one of his tooth. And one of the pieces of that chili pepper, it went and stuck there and stayed there. It burned him like anything. It burned him so much, and he was kind of allergic to hot spice. His whole jaw swelled up. His face swelled. It was hurting like anything. Next day, he could not go for Mangal Aarti. Could not wake up. So much pain. And Gītā Nagari, there is no hospital there. So then next day, he came to meet Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, and his face was swollen and it was tender. And he had missed Mangal Aarti. Maharaj said, where were you in the Mangal Aarti? He said, oh my God, I ate your Mahaprasad yesterday, and that chili, it got stuck in my teeth, and oh my God, it's burning like anything. My whole jaw is swollen. And Bhakti Tirth Maharaj showed him his fist and said, remember, I told you, someday I will punch you in your jaw. I did it. So you see how either one can be miserable, that, oh my God, I came here to see my god brother, and it's such a pious activity, and look what happened to me. I got infection in my tooth and swollen jaw. Or one can see the humor in it and laugh and deal with it. So if we pray to Krishna, and if you meditate on the hasya rasa, there are 12 rasas in the spiritual world. One of them is hasya ras, the rasa of humor. So if you study that humor, if you meditate on the different pastimes, like this pastime, where there is humor in the situation, and you pray to Krishna, then Krishna will give you the ability to see the bright side and the humor in things, like Bhakti Tirth Maharaj saw. Hare Krishna. Is that okay?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yes, thank you so much. I will definitely search, and as always, we'll ask Krishna for help, because
Yes.
without him, we'll not be able to get rid of our anarthas and get better qualities as well.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I think there are no more questions, and then in that case we can end. and I will coordinate with you, Anuradha Leela Mataji. We may be able to have a class next Sunday also, if you are available. And thank you. Hare Krishna.
We will be, me and Ina will be at a festival, we'll be serving there. However, maybe somebody else can host, from Savannah, but I will confirm with you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Or if you don't have time, also something is happening, it could be, better for us.
Reschedule it.
Yeah, reschedule it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to yes to continue.
We will do it when you come back from the festival.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your service.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.